Welcome to the Bourbon Van. I'm Phil.
I'm Julie, and we're drinking in the woods again.
Once again, it is time for 5 Sip Friday. This is where we take a sample from one of our Patreon supporters, and it could be anything, any kind of whiskey. Japanese, Irish, Scotch, we have no idea. We give it 5 sips, we say whether we like it, we try to guess what it is, and in the end, we reveal exactly what we've been drinking. Today we have a sample from our friend Tim in Mississippi, so thank you, Tim.
Thanks, Tim. Obviously, we are drinking out of different glasses today. Kind of forgot our go-tos, so we'll see how this goes.
Yeah, oops, we forgot our Glencairns at home, so drinking out of these wide-mouth Wild Turkey glasses. We drink whiskey out of these when we're sitting around the fire and stuff, so...
Totally. Should be fine.
Should be fine. Yeah, famous last words. I'm ready to go in. Let's get to the nose of this really quickly, and then we'll get into our 5 sips.
Ooh, this is tricky. Very sweet, very vanilla-y, I think caramel in there.
I would agree with all 3 of those things. Am I crazy? Does this smell like pears in juice?
Ooh.
Like canned pears in juice?
So I will say there is a fruit in here that I can't recognize, and pears are not one of my go-tos, so I'm gonna go with it.
You don't like the texture of pears,
I
though.
do not. It's weird.
I like all things pear.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know how much we're gonna get on the nose here. There's a good tip for you new drinkers. Get yourself a decent glass, a Glencairn, what we usually drink out of, so it pushes the aroma right up your nose. Not getting a lot of that today, but maybe some sweet pear, some vanilla, some caramel, some oak. Here we go.
Cheers. Thanks, Tim. Ooh, very sweet.
Sweet but strong.
But strong.
Wow. There's
Strong
some
flavors, not just, I'm not talking heat. Of course, there's a little bit of heat there too,
Yeah.
but the flavors are really strong.
Yeah, this glass shape, I wasn't really focused, and I kind of dumped a big gulp in there on sip 1, so less of a sip, more of a gulp, but there's some baking spices there that I actually really like. I'm still getting that pear note, which is nice with the vanilla note. Mm-hmm. I think it's pretty hot. I would say it's like, I would go 115. There's sip number 2. Julie's going in, I'm going in.
I like that you're calling proof already. There's something chalky in there. And when you say chalky, everyone thinks of like dry, and it's not that. It's just something...
It's almost like a limestone. I'm still going to say that there's an elevated proof point here. This is well over 100, I believe. Here we go.
Sip number 3.
Sip number 3. Let's get to it.
Man,
There's a lot going
I
on.
really want to read the flavor profile of this one because
Yeah.
there's something really interesting about this one that I can't put my finger on.
Yeah.
I tipped my cat.
You tipped your cap to your finger
and
not
put my
getting put
finger on
something.
it. Yeah.
It is very consistent from nose, then to sip, to sip, to sip. And I gotta say, I have no idea what this is. It doesn't remind me of anything. If I had to guess, I would say it's a bourbon, strictly because of the sweetness. I don't get a rye dance or anything like that.
Yeah.
It's candy-tastic, and that's starting to make me think that and that just total pear note are starting to make me think that there's some sort of finishing here. I have no idea what this is or what that would be. We don't drink any liquor that tastes like pears, at least not to my knowledge. But I just keep getting loads of pear here. So,
And I will say that it's a sweet drink, but I'm not getting a lot of candy sweetness on this one.
This
it's
is like
more like fruit sweetness.
This one to me is if you had like a hard candy that tasted like pears. I'm holding this like it's my hot cocoa today. You're doing the same thing. Sip number 4.
I'm going to go 106 on the proof.
Okay.
It's a little bit warmer. I definitely think it's over 100, but I don't think it's that warm. I mean, I'm getting a little bit of warmth, a little bit of the hug in there, but not a ton. I almost want to go 103. See, here I go again, changing my mind. But I'm going to think on it for my last sip.
We keep going high, and then it's below.
Yeah.
So maybe you're right, and I don't want to be a copycat here, but maybe it's more in the neighborhood of 110.
Oh, okay.
So, by the way, we have 1 sip left.
Yes.
Do you like it?
I do like it. I would agree with you that I think it's a bourbon. I have not had this before.
Can't imagine this is something we've had before. Absolutely not.
But it does have some familiarity to it. I'm going to go craft.
Yeah.
I almost want to go MGP.
I would actually agree with that. I can't imagine that this is something from Wild Turkey or Heaven Hill or Dickel. I don't get a ton of Tennessee here or anything like that. It doesn't taste like any of that West Coast stuff like Woodinville, Redwood Empire, High West, anything like that. I'm not getting any of the notes that I recognize from those. This is a weird one. Whatever this is, I don't think we've had it.
Yeah.
and I do like it. I do think it's finished. I think it's in the neighborhood of 110, and I'm excited for sip number 5.
Yay.
Let's see. Maybe this last sip will give it all away.
I hope so.
It didn't.
No, a very consistent sip from the first to the 5th. I get a little bit of that candy that you were talking about came through on that for me, where it hasn't the 4 previously. Ooh, now that one wasn't warm at all. Now I almost want to go under 100, so I'm just going to go 103, because I did get a little bit of warmth on those first sips, but I'm staying pretty low. I stand by that I haven't had this, though there is something in there.
Do you know what's hanging around that I didn't really notice before? It's a molasses sweetness.
Ooh.
And you know what it reminds me of? It reminds me a little bit of those rums that we tried.
Yeah.
And I don't know what it would be. I don't know what it would be, but there's molasses here.
I almost said it was so different that maybe it wasn't a bourbon.
Did you sneak us a rum? Did you sneak us a pair of rum, Tim from Mississippi? Huh?
That's so funny.
So sip 5 is in the books. That was a wild ride. We have some left, so I'm excited about that, because whatever this is, when we find out what it is, I want to keep sipping it and see if I notice the other notes that are supposed to be in here. But
yeah,
I will say that I like it. Neighborhood of 110. It has notes of pear, caramel, oak, vanilla, molasses. There's some wild things in here. It's very consistent from start to finish. The aroma, the nose, the palate, it all kind of hits together. You're not getting tricked or... Oh, the birds are coming.
Going crazy.
Oh,
They're
boy.
coming for us.
Oh boy, let's get this wrapped up before they get us.
It's one of the more consistent drinks that I've had from start to finish. It did not shift at all. I'm still sticking with that 103. I got a little warmth there at the end, but not a ton. I'm going with you, though I don't think it's finished.
No?
So I'm going to go different from you on
You're
this
saying
one.
a 103 proof craft bourbon.
Yeah.
I mean, it's possible.
I'm only here for the proof.
A wild yeast or a crazy blend. I have no idea. Honestly, I don't know that I've ever had anything like this before.
So we're getting eaten alive out here, so I'm going to go right into the trusty phone. It's Barrel Armida. Dang it! Stupid Barrel keeps throwing us.
Barrel?
That's twice.
This is the second time in the last couple of weeks that we've had Barrel. And again, it's not something that we get. It's never on the shelf here. I'm starting to see it on the shelf.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, I do think this one is on the shelf locally here now. Barrel Armida, bourbon whiskey. So we got that right.
Yeah.
Finished.
Oh my God, pear!
In pear brandy, rum, and Sicilian Amaro casks.
Oh my goodness. Hold on.
What's the proof on this?
So I was way off. 112.1. So you were close. So you got 110. You definitely get that.
Hung in there. And I actually
And
was thinking in my
pear.
head at the end, I go, this is a 115 proof. But I kind of learned my lesson. I was like, go low. I went too low. This is a wild ride. This is really, really good whiskey. And if I'm not mistaken, all the Barrel stuff is like $80 plus, I think. So this one here is one that if it is available locally, I'm not usually one to buy finished whiskeys, but I could see maybe going for this one. This one's pretty doggone good. I like this.
So I feel like from here on out, I'm just going to guess Barrel when I don't know, because that's what's going to happen.
That's a brilliant idea.
But let me bring it through one more time, because Phil is pretty doggone close without getting the brand. 112 proof, 112.1, and it's Barrel Armida, bourbon whiskey, finished in pear, brandy, rum, and Sicilian Amaro casks. This was a fun one.
This is wild.
This
I don't
was a
actually know what
perplexing
Amaro
one.
is. I assume it's some sort of Italian liqueur.
Probably.
All right, well,
Maybe it's
we'll
like
look that up,
limoncello.
I doubt it.
Yeah, it's not.
Thanks again, of course, to Tim from Mississippi.
Tim!
We appreciate you so much. Thanks to everybody who's been watching these and giving us feedback on these. We know you like these. We like doing these. They're our
I love
absolute
these.
favorite.
Yeah.
We feel like we're learning more and more, and obviously we're getting familiar with Barrel over the last couple of weeks. So let us know if you've had this particular whiskey. Obviously, we never had it before, but we really enjoy it. Let us know what you think of it. Join us on Patreon for exclusive live streams, bonus content, merchandise, and more. Check us out on Instagram at The Bourbon Van. Like, comment, and subscribe. And from wherever we are,
To wherever you are.
Cheers.
Cheers.
I'm a little worried about those birds.